We do not record them, said the geographer, because they are ephemeral. What does that mean, ephemeral? The Earth is not just an ordinary planet. Geographer, 지리학자. Geography, 지리학. Ephemeral, 수명이 짧은. Be concerned with, 뭐뭐에 관심이 있다. Matter of consequence, 매우 중요한 일. Rarely, 드물게. Old-fashioned, 옛날식의. Position, 위치, 자리. Eternal, 영원한. Extinct volcano, 사화산. Let go of, 무엇을 놓다. Speedy, 빠른. Disappearance, 소멸. Thorn, 가시. Regret, 후회하다. Courage, 용기. Veritable, 진정한. Splendid, 정말 좋은. Spectacle, 장관. Colleague, 동료. We do not record them, said the geographer, because they are ephemeral. What does that mean, ephemeral? Geographies, said the geographer, are the books which of all books are most concerned with matters of consequence. They never become old-fashioned. It is very rarely that a mountain changes its position. It is very rarely that an ocean empties itself of its waters. We write of eternal things. But extinct volcanoes may come to life again, the little prince interrupted. What does that mean, ephemeral? Whether volcanoes are extinct or alive, it comes to the same thing for us, said the geographer. The thing that matters to us is the mountain. It does not change. But what does that mean, ephemeral? Repeated the little prince, who never in his life had let go of a question once he had asked it. It means which is in danger of speedy disappearance. Is my flower in danger of speedy disappearance? Certainly it is. My flower is ephemeral, the little prince said to himself, and she has only 4 thorns to defend herself against the world, and I have left her on my planet all alone. That was his first moment of regret, but he took courage once more. What place would you advise me to visit now? He asked. The planet Earth, replied the geographer. It has a good reputation. And the little prince went away, thinking of his flower. So then, the 7th planet was the Earth. The Earth is not just an ordinary planet. One can count there 111 kings, 7,000 geographers, 900,000 businessmen, 7.5 million tipplers, 311 million conceited men. That is to say, about 2 trillion grown-ups. To give you an idea of the size of the Earth, I will tell you that before the invention of electricity, it was necessary to maintain, over the whole of the 6 continents, a veritable army of 462,511 lamplighters for the street lamps. Seen from a slight distance, that would make a splendid spectacle. The movements of this army would be regulated like those of the ballet in the opera. First would come the turn of the lamplighters of New Zealand and Australia. Having set their lamps alight, these would go off to sleep. Next, the lamplighters of China and Siberia would enter for their steps in the dance, and then they too would be waved back into the wings. After that would come the turn of the lamplighters of Russia and the Indies, then those of Africa and Europe, then those of South America, then those of North America. And never would they make a mistake in the order of their entry upon the stage. It would be magnificent. Only the man who was in charge of the single lamp at the North Pole, and his colleague who was responsible for a single lamp at the South Pole, only these two would live free from toil and care. They would be busy twice a year. Play the wit. 재미있게 이야기하다. Realize. 깨닫다. Run the risk. 위험을 무릅쓰다. False idea. 그릇된 생각. Occupy. 차지하다, 자리 잡다. Inhabitant. 거주자. Crowded. 붐비는. Public assembly. 집회. Humanity. 인류, 인간성. Islet. 작은 섬. A great deal of. 아주 많은. Calculation. 계산. Confidence. 자신감. A coil of. 한 뭉치. Courteously. 공손하게. Wonder. 궁금하다. Heaven. 천국. Gaze at. 무엇을 응시하다. Twine. 휘감다. Bracelet. 팔찌. When one wishes to play the wit, he sometimes wanders a little from the truth. I have not been altogether honest in what I have told you about the lamplighters, and I realize that I run the risk of giving a false idea of our planet to those who do not know it. Men occupy a very small place upon the earth. If the 2 billion inhabitants who people its surface were all to stand upright and somewhat crowded together as they do for some big public assembly, they could easily be put into one public square 20 miles long and 20 miles wide. All humanity could be piled up on a small Pacific islet. The grown-ups, to be sure, will not believe you when you tell them that. They imagine that they fill a great deal of space. They fancy themselves as important as the baobabs. You should advise them, then, to make their own calculations. They adore figures, and they will please them. But do not waste your time on this extra task. It is unnecessary. You have, I know, confidence in me. When the little prince arrived on the earth, he was very much surprised not to see any people. He was beginning to be afraid he had come to the wrong planet, when a coil of gold, the color of the moonlight, flashed across the sand. "Good evening," said the little prince courteously. "Good evening," said the snake. "What planet is this on which I have come down?" asked the little prince. "This is the earth. This is Africa," the snake answered. "Ah, then there are no people on the earth?" "This is the desert. There are no people in the desert. The earth is large," said the snake. The little prince sat down on a stone and raised his eyes toward the sky. "I wonder," he said, "whether the stars are satellite in heaven, so that one day each one of us may find his own again. Look at my planet. It is right there above us, but how far away it is." "It is beautiful," the snake said. "What has brought you here?" "I have been having some trouble with a flower," said the little prince. "Ah," said the snake, and they were both silent. "Where are the men?" The little prince at last took up the conversation again. "It is a little lonely in the desert." "It is also lonely among men," the snake said. The little prince gazed at him for a long time. "You are a funny animal," he said at last. "You're no thicker than a finger." "But I am more powerful than the finger of a king," said the snake. The little prince smiled. "You are not very powerful. You haven't even any feet. You cannot even travel." "I can carry you farther than any ship could take you," said the snake. He twined himself around the little prince's ankle like a golden bracelet. Whomever, whoever, 누구든지. whence, 곳에서. innocent, 무고한 순결한. pity, 동정. granite, 화강암. homesick, 향수병을 앓는. riddle, 수수께끼. silent, 말을 안 하는. caravan, 이동식 주택. echo, 메아리치다 메아리. in existence, 현존하는. root, 뿌리. footstool, 발 받침대. peak of, 모모의 봉우리. sharpen, 날카롭게 하다. queer, 기묘한. pointed, 뾰족한. harsh, 가혹한. forbidding, 험악한 으스스한. abode, 집, 거주지. Whomever I touch, I send back to the earth from whence he came. The snake spoke again. But you are innocent and true, and you come from a star. The little prince made no reply. You move me to pity. You are so weak on this earth made of granite, the snake said. I can help you someday if you grow too homesick for your own planet. I can. Oh, I understand you very well, said the little prince. But why do you always speak in riddles? I solved them all, said the snake, and they were both silent. The little prince crossed the desert and met with only one flower. It was a flower with 3 petals, a flower of no account at all. Good morning, said the little prince. Good morning, said the flower. Where are the men? The little prince asked politely. The flower had once seen a caravan passing. Men? She echoed. I think there are 6 or 7 of them in existence. I saw them several years ago, but one never knows where to find them. The wind blows them away. They have no roots, and that makes their life very difficult. Goodbye, said the little prince. Goodbye, said the flower. After that, the little prince climbed a high mountain. The only mountains he had ever known were the 3 volcanoes which came up to his knees, and he used the extinct volcano as a footstool. From a mountain as high as this one, he said to himself, I shall be able to see the whole planet at one glance and all the people. But he saw nothing save peaks of rocks that were sharpened like needles. Good morning, he said courteously. Good morning, good morning, good morning, answered the echo. Who are you? Said the little prince. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Answered the echo. Be my friends. I am all alone, he said. I am all alone, all alone, all alone, answered the echo. What a queer planet, he thought. It is altogether dry, and altogether pointed, and altogether harsh and forbidding, and the people have no imagination. They repeat whatever one says to them. On my planet I had a flower. She always was the first to speak. But it happened that after walking for a long time through sand and rocks and snow, the little prince at last came upon a road, and all roads lead to the abodes of men. Thunderstruck, 극도로 놀란. Universe, 우주. Alike, 비슷한. Dreadfully, 끔찍하게. Pretend, 모모인 척하다. Laugh at, 모모를 비웃다. Be obliged to, 모모할 의무가 있다. Nurse, 간호하다 간호사. Humble oneself, 비하하다 겸손하게 굴다. Reflection, 반성 반영. Unique, 독특한. Common, 흔한. Perhaps, 아마. Lay down, 눕다. Respond, 대답하다 반응하다. Politely, 겸손히. Tame, 길들이다. Disturbing, 불안감을 주는. Establish ties, 유대 관계를 만들다. Good morning, he said. He was standing before a garden all abloom with roses. Good morning, said the roses. The little prince gazed at them. They all looked like his flower. Who are you? He demanded, thunderstruck. We are roses, the roses said. And he was overcome with sadness. His flower had told him that she was the only one of her kind in all the universe. And here were 5,000 of them, all alike in one single garden. She would be very much annoyed, he said to himself, if she should see that. She would cough most dreadfully, and she would pretend that she was dying to avoid being laughed at. And I should be obliged to pretend that I was nursing her back to life, for if I did not do that to humble myself also, she would really allow herself to die. Then he went on with his reflections. I thought that I was rich, with a flower that was unique in all the world, and all I had was a common rose and 3 volcanoes that come up to my knees, and one of them perhaps extinct forever. That doesn't make me a very great prince. And he lay down in the grass and cried. It was then that the fox appeared. Good morning, said the fox. Good morning, the little prince responded politely, although when he turned around, he saw nothing. I am right here, the voice said, under the apple tree. Who are you? Asked the little prince, and added, You are very pretty to look at. I am a fox, said the fox. Come and play with me, proposed the little prince. I am so unhappy. I cannot play with you, the fox said. I am not tamed. Ah, please excuse me, said the little prince. But after some thought, he added, What does that mean, tame? You do not live here, said the fox. What is it that you're looking for? I am looking for men, said the little prince. What does that mean, tame? Men, said the fox. They have guns and they hunt. It is very disturbing. They also raise chickens. These are their only interests. Are you looking for chickens? No, said the little prince. I am looking for friends. What does that mean, tame? It means to establish ties.